Hello, Dennis Carr here with a recap of the Colt live trading session September the 3rd. This is the schedule, and this week for the first time we were using a live account to trade Swiss franc Japanese yen. Fortunately, there were no Colt signals on these two pairs during the webinar session. We also looked at Colt money management, and I'll go into that in a bit more detail in the rest of this presentation. And also we had an introduction to Darren's trading system. As usual, the questions and comments from the other traders in the session were very interesting, and I'll mention one or two things that we decided to do from our conversation. In the Colt money management section, I went into the money management that I'm using with Colt in some detail, including the amount of real leverage, my exposure policy, and the reward risk ratio. We then moved on to talk about trading discipline, and this is the trade checklist that I showed during the trading webinar. This is something that I go through before placing a live Colt trade. After checking that there has been a primary signal, a bounce off from a level, I then move on to make sure that the 100 pip rule is being observed, and also that the potential stop loss is less than or equal to 35 pips. Because my reward risk ratio is 2 to 1, I make sure that my potential initial target is twice my stop loss level. Only then do I go on to check the Colt rating, which of course should be greater or equal to 15 points. I finished this section by talking about some entry and exit strategies. I talked about 3, which I call the lob, the safety lob, and the crossbow. I then went on to introduce Darren's trading system and discussed and described the rules of the trading system. It's an intraday trading system, and you trade on the hourly charts. I intend to be featuring this trading system in the next few Colt live trading sessions. As usual, the discussion with the traders in the session proved to be very informative, and we discussed the fact that because both Colt and Darren's trading system trade on hourly candles, the chances are against us that we'll get a good live trade during the actual webinar. Mike Ross, who was new to the trading session, suggested that we open the minimum size position at the beginning of the webinar, and he is outlining the conditions for that position on a thread in the Colt forum that I think is called 10 for the moon. So we'll be doing that next week. Sergey, who's a regular to the webinar sessions, also said he'd let us trade his 5-minute candle system once he's finished designing it. And this is what next week's schedule is looking like at the moment. After the usual entrance and greetings, we'll be trading Colt at 3 o'clock, and after the 3 o'clock trade, we will be looking at Mike's 10 for the moon trade. This will be a minimum trade, probably on one of the yen crosses. After we've gone through that, we will take a review of Darren's trading system and look at the signals that it gave during this week. 4 o'clock GMT, we'll be checking the Colt signals again and doing any necessary trades. After that, we'll have our usual recap with questions, comments, and a close. All in all, I'm quite pleased the way the webinars are taking shape. They're slowly developing a personality and framework of their own. Do hope you can join us next week. And if you'd like to get involved in the Colt live trading sessions, please drop me a line at colt@coltfx.com. It looks like the next session will be taking place on Wednesday. That's Wednesday, September the 10th, at the usual time of 14:30 GMT. We aim to finish about 16:30 GMT, but we often carry on later on because conversations don't always stick to the timetable. That's all I've got time for now. Have a great weekend. Take care now, and hopefully I'll see you next Wednesday at the next Colt Effects live trading session. Goodbye now.